A habit is an acquired behavior pattern regularly followed until it has almost become involuntary. You have a habit of looking both ways before crossing the street. You have a habit of brushing your teeth the same way. You have a habit of dressing the same way every morning. Do you put your shirt on first or do you put your pants on first? Habits are what we have done over and over, and now those habits are what run our life. We all have a habit of having our cell phones on or around us at all times. When it goes off, we have a habit to stop what we're doing and see what is happening on our phones. Are you guilty of this? When did we create such a habit to hold what someone else needs higher than the value of what we are doing in the moment? Most people have a habit of drinking coffee. I too was one of these people. I tried it for about a year in my 20s. I started drinking in the fall when the weather turned colder. I loved to add my French vanilla flavor creamer to the coffee, so that was pretty much all I could taste. Who here are my creamer lovers out there? The following summer, one morning, I woke up and it was hot. I did not want to drink a coffee that morning. It was that moment that I realized that I made a habit of drinking coffee. I would wake up thinking about it and wanting it. And I did not like waking up wanting anything. I just wanted to wake up and just be. From that day on, I didn't drink coffee anymore. Well, not every day. There were times over the years that I would buy like a gas station coffee because of the flavors that they had. I haven't drank coffee in probably over 5 years at this point. I realized our habits are whatever we want them to be, and sometimes we set habits that we really didn't mean to. To understand habits, we have to understand the brain just a little bit. So let's split our brain from like the top section and the bottom section. And the lower half we're going to call the working brain, and the top half we're going to call the automatic brain. The working brain or the conscious brain takes in all that we see, hear, smell, feel, and comprehend during the day. If we keep doing the same routine every morning when we wake up, we will create a habit or a process for our automatic brain or our subconscious, which is the top half. This part of our brain controls at least 90% of how we live our life on a daily basis. How we think, how we react, and what we do is all based off of prior patterns that you have set up in your life up until this point. You have changed habits over time, but there are some that are at the base of who you are, such as brushing your teeth. Do you brush once a day, twice, or more? Do you floss? Do you mouthwash? What's your routine? What's your habit? Can you imagine if you brushed your teeth and then flossed every day since you were a kid, and I told you that it was going to be better that you floss and then brush? How long do you think it will take to retrain your original habit? You're half asleep when you first wake up to brush your teeth, or your mind might be off in another place. Are you going to be conscious to remember to floss first, and then brush? This is just an example of how deeply rooted some habits are. Habits are a part of our automatic brain and not our conscious alert part. Through our conscious repetitive actions, our habits are formed. Sometimes things happen to us that we had no control over, or we feel like we had no control over the situation, and then bad things happen. We learned how to stay away from those bad situations as a habit, or you learn to draw in certain types of people or a situation that you may have known. One habit I learned due to being around the wrong people in my life was not to trust people. This is because those who were closest to me kept breaking my trust. When I realized that I just had no boundaries set and I was just maybe around the wrong people, I started eliminating them from my life. I opened up my trust to the right people, and I've never looked back on what I thought I was missing. Because truthfully, I'm not missing anything that wasn't meant for me in my life. I will teach you how not to feel guilty about letting people go in your life, even if it's your mom. The habits you create will allow your life to flourish in ways that you could never imagine. One little change in your habits can bring such overwhelming peace to you that you have been longing for. It really doesn't take a lot to change your life. It takes a lot for others to accept a new way of you, though, and that you really can't expect someone to grow the same time as you. Habits will leave us wasting away hours on instant gratification, social media, and any kind of show that we want to watch on TV. We think this is fine because it's what we are choosing to do. I'm here to tell you that most likely this is a comfort place created from a lack of understanding of how to cope with life up until this point. Did I maybe get that right? The habits we create can help us. Deciding to exercise for 15 minutes a day, every day, will physically change the structure of your body. Changing a perfume will change the energy structure all around you. Changing your style or your hair color, change a feeling and invoke a new habit inside of you. Habits work to benefit us and they can also harm us. Be sure you are understanding the difference between them. The answers are not always in black and white. Now you have learned up until this point why your belief system is important, why the mindset is the key of how to live your life. You've learned why healthy boundaries are important and how habits create our existence. The habits you start today will dictate the next years of your life. So, what habits are you going to create? Or what habits are you going to stop? Who is going to hold you accountable? You cannot say yourself. Although you are a wonderful person who has the best intentions, your mindset is not to be fully trusted in holding you accountable for your new habits that benefit you. As always, because each and every one of us deserves it, much love to you all.